feeling live. If you feel it, raise your L in the sky. I remember selling my mixtape in high school. They was really kind of supportive at my school. I was selling cassette tapes for $5. I was making my own beats. I was beatboxing. Brown, brown sugar, that brown, brown, ayy. 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 Brown, brown sugar, that brown, brown, ayy.
What's up, everybody? Got a good show planned for you today. We're going to talk about black home ownership. I know that might be just a little touchy these days, but we really need to discuss black home ownership. And by the way, did you know I was black?
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.
Yep. I'm black. May not look it. I'm in the lighter persuasion. Father came from the West Indies. Mom was in Connecticut. Her mom was a Indian from Native American from northeastern Massachusetts. So I'm kind of a mutt, but everybody knows nowadays if you got an ounce of that Hershey's chocolate in the milk, it's chocolate milk. So I'm black. And I'm a man, so I guess I have that one going bad for me, but I'm black. That means, baby, right now I'm a preferred class. Yeah, I didn't make it. It wasn't my fault. I didn't decide that all of a sudden I was going to wake up this morning and be in a different position. Nobody told me. I guess I could have read the signs, but hey, we're in the time of where everything is about systemic racism and setting an equal playing field. And I'm black, and you might not be. That's just how it goes. So, that being said, my name is Barry Cunningham. I am a real estate investor and burgeoning developer here in South Florida. And if you haven't realized it, I'm black. All right, enough with that. Anyway, we're going to be talking about black home ownership. And so I was really concerned about how I was going to talk about today's topic. I knew some people might get offended and not really understand where I was taking this. But if you haven't realized it, ever since November 3rd, ever since the election happened, there's been a decided shift. Things have changed a lot. Some people are talking about it. Some people are horrified by it, but it's happening. And this whole great reset thing is happening on an epic scale. So I don't really care who you voted for. It doesn't really matter who I voted for. We have to understand that we are now in a time where we have to recognize opportunity when it's in front of us. And that's what I'm looking at. Because I don't care if you're black, yellow, red, white. The color that stands out to me is green. I've got green on, I got green shadowing in the background, because that's the color as a real estate investor that we know matters to us. We're just not supposed to say it. As they said in the movie, Atlas Shrugged, asked the guy, hey, listen, it's not all about money. Yeah, it is. Oh, I understand it is, but you're just not supposed to talk about it. You're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say that you're about making money. You do all the other posturing so that you can make the money. Well, if you're not understanding where things are and where they're going, you really should. There's a ton of information out there. They're not hiding it. There's complete transparency as to where they want to take things. When I say they, I'm talking about the government and the World Economic Forum. You see, there was a video I showed a couple months ago where they put out and said, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. But the guy in the video was a white guy. And I don't know if that was subliminal or overt. Were they trying to tell white people, hey, listen, you're going to own nothing and like it? Because it doesn't match with the push that they are making for black home ownership. So I do a lot of research. I'm a data hound. I've told you I'm a data hound. I don't need the crystal ball because I do so much data hounding. And I understand where things are. And this is going to be a topic that may step on some toes. It may cause people to go, what's he talking about here? Well, I like to look at the long game. And when I look at the long game, I have to be able to adapt. Doesn't matter who's in the White House. Made money during the Clinton years, made money during the Obama years, made money during the Bush years. It doesn't matter. Made money during the Trump years. You just have to know how to play with the cards that are being dealt to you. Right now, what we're seeing is these cards are indeed being changed right in front of our eyes. So I'm going to get into that as soon as I get back.
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.
So I didn't mean to take such a early break, but my wife just got home and I didn't want the dogs to start barking, so I had to get up and shut the door because I didn't know what was going to happen. So now let's talk. Let's just between you and I, let's discuss this. Let's discuss this Build Back Better program that Biden is talking about. The Biden plan to build back better by advancing racial equality across the American economy. If you have not read this yet, grab a coffee, Coke, get your blueberry muffin, which is my favorite, and sit down for some very interesting reading. If you haven't read it, you're about to be shocked. Maybe not, because you've been seeing what's going on in the last 6 or 8 weeks. It's nuts. Well, nuts if you don't understand it. If you're not prepared to play the game, it could indeed be nuts. We're real estate investors. We're real estate professionals. We're here because of one reason only. And that's because we want to make money. We make money in the real estate business as a commodity. Now, that's not supposed to be good anymore. We're not supposed to be making money. We're supposed to be fostering inclusion, perpetuating diversity, doing away with racial inequality. You notice the flip there? Didn't say you can't make money. It's just the posit, P-O-S-I-T, the posturing that you need to take. Just don't tell people you're interested about making money. This whole great reset that's going on is to shift everything from a shareholder capitalistic base, which is overt, to a stakeholder capitalism base, which is not so overt. It lets people think they are in control. So play the game. That's what I'm going to do as I work daily to get people with money to, get behind me and understand where things are going to be going. I'm not the realtor out there who's, hey, the market's on fire. Well, yeah, it might be on fire, but what happens to fires? Does anyone ever think about that? What happens to fires? They burn out. And if they don't burn out, then they end up getting extinguished. They just don't continue to burn and burn and burn unless you're John F. Kennedy and you've got a gas-filled tank that's got an eternal fire. I advise you to go see that sometime. But I digress. So yes, it's on fire, but it's going to extinguish. We can all sit here and debate when, how long it's going to take, how much money it can make, but why play the short game? Why not get involved in playing the long game? That's where the real money is. You see, I know a lot of investors, myself one, and we get out there and they fight for deals and they overbid on prices on homes, and they try to sift the MLS and send out letters and put out signs on the side of the road and talk to attorneys and talk to people at the courthouse who are doing auctions. All these things fighting over a small pie, literally a small pie. Think about it. At any one time, there's probably 15 to 20 offers on one house. At any one time, in all of South Florida, how many houses are for sale? 12, 18, 20,000? That doesn't seem like a lot when you look at it, of a metropolis of millions of people, 20,000, 25,000 homes, not counting the condos that are hot for sale. So what if you had money in your pocket, you didn't care that you needed to sell a house to make money? What if you were making money? You know, the old adage is you make money when you buy in real estate, because you buy it and then hopefully you resell it and you make your money. What if you didn't have to rely on that? What if you didn't have to make any money on the transaction? Heresy, you say. Barry, that's crazy. You need to bear with me here. You need to bear with me. I mean, I'm going to tell you some stuff today that's going to blow your mind. In fact, you need to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and click that button and bell and do all that stuff so you don't miss these videos. Because I'm going to be telling you stuff that you can apply that most other people don't tell you. And go ahead and, new thing, text me. Text me at that number and I can respond to you, and I can, put you in line for some of the deals that we're working on. But since we're looking at this economy here that they're planning on putting in, this Build Back Better by advancing racial equality across the entire American economy, understand this. I'm going to speak softly so everybody can get this. They're giving away money. It's yours. It's mine. But they're giving it away. The government, corporations, businesses, they're doing anything to show the people that they're woke as hell and that they just want to help people, especially blacks, Hispanics, and the LGBTQZY. They're giving away money. Now, just imagine that you put yourself in that line. You remember this movie with Eddie Murphy called The Distinguished Gentleman, when Eddie Murphy was basically a grifter, and he realized the biggest grift was in Washington. So he ran for office because he couldn't believe how much criminality was being done in the government. Yeah, it's true. Doesn't matter who you vote for. It doesn't matter. They're giving away your money. You're out here hustling. I'm out here hustling, trying to find this deal, trying to find that deal, see if we can cut a deal with the seller, see if we can get a discount, see if we can figure out how we can go ahead and sell this property and make a profit. Ooh, we made 20 grand, 30 grand this month. Child's play. Peanuts. Doesn't mean anything. When these people are giving away billions, and I mean giving away billions. See, this whole stakeholder capitalism thing is to show people that they care. We're all woke. And we're trying to help the poor peoples. We're trying to help the poor peoples get on their feet and see some equity. Equity doesn't really mean equality, but that's trying to do that. They're using, notice the term racial equity. They didn't say racial equality. They want them to have your money. And the corporations are willing to be agnostic on profit so that they can look more influential. Why do they want to do that? Well, there's a whole lot of reasons. You're going to have to do some research on the Great Reset. But they're willing to basically screw over shareholders to improve their perspective from the stakeholders, the community, the poor peoples, the blacks, the Hispanics, the other alphabets, the ABs, the ZBs, the SheBs, anything they can do right now to gain influence with the government. Government doesn't care about me flipping homes. I don't mean anything to them. Government doesn't care about you flipping homes. Government doesn't care about us going in doing one deal at a time. Government wants us to go in and say, hey, listen, put these people, these black homeowners, prospective black homeowners in homes. Oh, and we'll give you the money. Bet you didn't see that one coming, did you? Barry, you're nuts. No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. No, I'm not. And I'm going to show you that right now. And it's going to blow you away because the government and corporations are getting behind this woke movement. And you need to be part of it so you can profit from it. You see, let's see, it's 2021 right now, about 207, 205. I formed a nonprofit. We were doing fantastic up in Northwood and West Palm Beach, and we were, doing this affordable housing thing. And then the market fell out. But I wish I had kept that nonprofit going. I wish I had kept all that filing and kept that nonprofit active. But I'm not going to worry about it because I'm doing it again. I'm creating a nonprofit. I already got the website. I'll show you. And we're going to go ahead and do it all over again. Get in line for some of this government cheese and use it to put people in homes. And you don't need to care about what it costs, especially if you're building it. Especially if you're saying, hey, listen, they're going to do stuff with the zoning laws. Let's go ahead and make a multifamily down in Sistrunk. I don't care. People can live there. Government's going to give me the money. Yeah, it's like that. Opportunity zones changing. We're going to focus on the poor peoples. Or I shouldn't say poor. We're talking, one of the names I've been kicking around is midversity, meaning, middle income diversity. So I want to name my company Midversity. Somebody will probably steal it after they hear this. But let's get into this stuff. So I've shown you before, this is the Biden website, and it talks about his plan to build back better. And you guys can go through this. It's rather lengthy, but you're going to see a prevailing theme. And that prevailing theme is that he keeps talking about black, brown, Hispanics, and minority over and over and over. I'm sure if you've watched anything on TV, you've seen the theme of shows changing. It's not even hidden anymore. It's completely transparent. Unfortunately, they're putting white people in a second-class status. That's what some people think. You see, the people running all this crap are white. So it's the whole wokeness thing. So let's continue and look at this. All right, so as you go down here, they're talking about blah, 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 and George Floyd and systemic racism and everything over. Biden believes we cannot build back better without a major mobilization of effort and resources to address these challenges to advance racial equity across the American economy. That's what he wants to do. That's what he's doing. They're just getting ready to pass $2 trillion in this stuff. That is why racial equity is a distinct pillar of his Build Back Better plan, as well as incorporated in each of the other pillars. So what they just said is all of his other pillars. Doesn't matter what it is. Racial inequity, racial inequality, two different things, are the main pillars of his plan moving forward. It's too late to lament. Don't worry about what happened. It's over. The election is done. Don't listen to the nuts on Twitter. Nothing's happening. He is the president. Now you need to pull up your bootstraps, pull up your pants, be a big boy, be a big girl if you voted for Trump, and understand this is what we need to do. This is what is in front of us. So he goes on and saying that he's talking about some of these investments, and I've told you guys about this before. He's going to reform the opportunity zones to fulfill their promise. He's going to equalize the federal procurement system. And there we go. Ensure his housing plan makes bold investment in home ownership and access to affordable housing for Black, brown, and Native families. White people must be pissed. I'm serious. When you see that the president that you voted for is saying he's making bold investment in home ownership for Black, brown, and Native families, it must piss you off. I would think so. It would piss me off. It would definitely piss me off. So anyway, let's go back into this. Achieve equity, boost retirement, ensure workers of color are compensated fairly, and yada, yada, and ensure equity in Biden's both infrastructure investments. Everything in here is about taking your money and giving it to Black, brown, red, LGBTQ, the whole 9 yards. So don't fight it. Wake up. We're in a new reality. We are in the Great Reset. And if you, as an investor, are looking to profit moving forward, you can go ahead and play with a deal here or a deal there. I don't care. Meanwhile, the rest of us are going to look at doing some big deals. Big deals, excuse me. So what do? Where is all this money? Well, I'm here in South Florida, and if you're watching this show, you're probably here in South Florida. So I look at the next thing here, and I'm seeing it everywhere. And so I want to show you this. This was from June, and again, they weren't shy about this. They told us 5 things corporate America can do besides tweeting to combat racism. So let's go through their 5 things. And let's see, number 1 is offer relief funds to Black-owned businesses. I'm Black and bring the money. It's a Black-owned business, and I would welcome your funds coming my way. Just want to let you know that. So that's one of the things. They want to go ahead and they want to give people who run Black-owned businesses money. Next thing we're gonna go down here to number two. Boom, there it is. Increase Black homeownership. I mean, again, as a white person, this must make you pissed off. It must make you just go, wait a second, man. Wait a second. What is going on here? But then again, there's so many woke lefties that they probably don't even realize that they're going to be feeding me money, feeding real capitalists real money, and they don't even understand what's happening. So how are they going to do that? Look here. Corporations that want to help narrow the racial wealth gap between Black and white America should consider donating to the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. This trade group realtors specialize in helping African Americans purchase property, selling 20,000 homes to Black purchasers in 2019 alone. So they want you to give money to a company or organization that fosters the growth of bridging the wealth gap. I guess they're assuming everybody white is wealthy, but I digress there too. And so what they're going to be doing is putting money to foster and benefit Black home ownership. Doesn't say anything about profit. Didn't say you can't make any money. I mean, they're even telling you like some of the stats down here. There are 1.7 million Black millennials who earn more than $100,000 per year who are not homeowners. All right, so I have a question. You make more than $100,000 a year and you don't own a home, that's because you don't want to. I've been doing this for 25 years. Nobody has ever told me you can't buy a property here. Never. You can't live here. Nope, never happened. You got the money, you can buy the house. Problem is, these people didn't want to spend the money. And so here we are where the government's saying we're going to let them not have to spend their money. We're going to make funds available so that they can live and not have to use their funds, and they can live anywhere. See, the problem here, actually not the problem, the great part of this is everybody has always thought black home ownership meant the hood, the Sistrunks of the world. That's no longer going to be the case. You want to go ahead and buy a $400,000 or $500,000 house, and you want to work as a community organizer and say, listen, we're trying to bring the middle income to more black homeowners. You're in the money. And when I get back from this break, I'm going to show you how you're in the money.
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.
So I've got a bit of a bug in my throat today, probably because I had some hot chicken wings for lunch and it's just tickling my throat. So bear with me here. All right. So I saw this story yesterday because even the realtors are getting involved with this. And it says, which metros have the largest white to black home ownership gap? I didn't know that they were charting such a number. I didn't know that we were at such a stage where we were looking at neighborhoods that had this gap, perceived or otherwise. Does anyone know why this gap exists? Because I've been doing this for 25 plus years. I've never had someone tell me I can't buy this house because I'm black. Maybe they didn't know I was black. I don't know. But the prevalence here moving forward is to push towards black home ownership. It's coming up and I'm seeing it everywhere. And down here it says black homeowners own the largest percentage of homes relative to total population in Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon, obviously a bastion of socialism per se, but there's black homeowners there is the largest percentage in the country. And 4 of the areas in the bottom 50, I guess you'd want to say, were in 4 of those cities were here in Florida. And where were they? Let's look at that. Here they are. Orlando, Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville. That just happens to be like 4 of the biggest black cities in Florida too. Orlando, Tampa, Miami, and Jacksonville. Doesn't mention Fort Lauderdale, Boca, West Palm. West Palm's probably got a heavy black population, but the disparity isn't as big. That's because there's an intercoastal between Palm Beach and West Palm Beach. Otherwise, I would blow it completely out of the water. In any event, again, there's a problem here. There's a problem, and we need to promote black home ownership. All right. So where's the money coming from? Well, obviously, Biden's got $2 trillion he wants to spend. So that's one thing that you can get in line and begin getting money from the government that way. But big business is just push the poker chips all in here. All in. Just took the mainline injection of wokeism, and they're putting up cash big time. Look at this one. This one blew me away. Oh, all these blew me away. But Citibank has launched an initiative with $1 billion in strategic initiatives to help close the racial wealth gap. Action for Racial Equity represents unprecedented effort to leverage Citi's core business capabilities and Citi's foundation philanthropy to help address racial equity and justice in the United States. $1 billion. That's $1 billion. A billion. Citibank's throwing in $1 billion. Anybody else? Let's look at this one. See what we can come up with. Bank of America commits $1 billion, $1 billion to support economic opportunity after the pandemic protests. So they're like, hey, listen, we'll throw in $1 billion. I got a hint for you. Not the government nor the banks have any money. It's all your money. Government doesn't have any money. Government only has what we give them. By the way, April 15th might be a bloodbath. But the government doesn't have any money. Banks, they don't have any money. There's depositors put their money in the banks. And then they go ahead and do something with it out there. Remember, as I said earlier, this is no longer about shareholders. This is no longer about it got dark in here, didn't it? Let me turn that light on. This is no longer about shareholders. This is about stakeholders. They want to look good to people in the community. So it's moving in a different perspective in terms of how this is all going to work. And if you're not understanding that, you're going to be left out. $1 billion is a shitload of money, and that's only the start. That's where they're starting, is $1 billion. So then I looked at it and I saw this article. And this article just blew me away because I hadn't seen it before. And it says, city pledges $1 billion to narrow the racial wealth gap and control wealth inequality. You just saw me talk about that, but it's very interesting because down here, and it says another major U.S. bank is making a 10-figure commitment to tackle racial inequality. On Wednesday, Citigroup became the nation's fourth largest bank by asset size, pledged more than $1 billion over the next 3 years to address the widening gap. And so what they're doing is they're putting all this money, man, it got dark outside, putting all this money out there, and they're pushing it to push homeownership amongst Black Americans, which is noble. I don't have a problem with that, but that's a lot of damn money. That is a ton of money being put out there, and I'm not sure everyone knows. City announcement follows that of Bank of America in June, pledging $1 billion to advance racial equality and economic opportunity over a 4-year span. And they just keep talking about it. The coronavirus pandemic and subsequent demonstrations against the killing of Black people have placed a searing spotlight on existing racial disparities in the U.S., bringing them to the fore of the business world's conscience. You see this? You understanding how this is happening now? You see the billions of dollars being put into this movement? But let's keep going. And this was just a quick search that I did. Then this one isn't South Florida, but nonetheless, Amazon launches $2 billion housing equity fund to preserve and create over 20,000 affordable homes. $2 billion. $2 billion. You salivating yet? You understanding what's happening here? We're sitting here fighting over and doing best offers and having to come back and fight with another agent about putting in the 7th offer on a property because the bids keep going up over one house. And these people are talking exponential real estate. These people are talking, hey, let's go in and buy the block. By the way, if you haven't seen that yet, look up buy the block. Google buy the block. Or Google buy back the block. Either one of those things. And you're going to be shocked at what's going on if you haven't seen that. The whole thing here is that as individual investors, we've been trained. We've made our money buying a house at a time. And we've had to survive with low inventory, distressed properties, pieces of crap that people want to pick up. And it's just the industry. Well, the industry has changed. And it changed basically in a blink of an eye. Now, the different kind of prospecting is going on. Now, there's not a whole lot of vacant land here in South Florida. Not a whole lot of land you can say, I'm going to build 20 units over there. No, that's why they're changing the zoning laws. So now when you start talking to the housing finance boards and different things where you can get some of this money, and you say, I'm going to go ahead and do 30 units. I need to buy these 4 houses, knock them down, and then put up 10, 12 units. That's where the money's going to be when you're creating your own inventory. You just see that switch right there? It's time for real estate investors who really want to see things happen to begin creating your own inventory. Look at property differently. Drive down the strip and see if you see a hotel that might be able to be purchased. See how many units it's zoned for. A whole different perspective. Create your own inventory was the theme I wanted to send to you people today. Create your own inventory. Then you don't have to worry about bidding and multiple offers and all that stuff. And you don't even have to care if you make money on the deal. It's built in. It's already built in. It's baked in. When you put your prospectus together, your developer's profit is already in the deal. You're just showing, the government and some of these corporations that you're going to be able to put some black homeowners in there. They can buy your condos, your townhouses, your single families, and they're going to be able to get it at an affordable price. And the reason why they can get it at an affordable price is because you're using free money, basically, to do it. Why wouldn't you? That's what I'm looking at doing. It's a whole different perspective. A whole different perspective. Now you have the opportunity to seriously go out and create inventory. I mean, I know Will Rogers said at one point, his land, they ain't making no more of it. Yeah, they are. All of a sudden, we are in a position where we can create inventory. I live in Boca, and not too far away, there was a old shopping center. Somebody bought it. Next thing I knew, they tore it down, the entire shopping center, and now they're putting up like 70 homes. Now, you may not have the experience in terms of being able to do that. Go meet with some general contractors. Go meet with some general contractors and tell them your plan. Buy the expertise. You can go ahead and be the deal person. Put the deal together. Get that developer's fee inserted, embedded in the deal. Google developer's fee. That's something else you're going to want to take a look at. Imagine being able to create your own inventory where you don't have to rely on MLS. You don't got to put bandit signs out there. You don't have to send out letters. You don't have to run down to the courthouse. You just look at something, think that you can do it, and then all of a sudden you're like a mini related group. You're out there just building. You're out there just renovating, and it doesn't cost you anything. These people are willing to pay. We're going to build back better. You see where this is going? Change your mindset. So I told you I already put something together. I had this sitting here for a while, and this is one of my new sites, and it's called Agenda 52. The 2 fishes and the 5 loaves of bread, and it's a mission-oriented site where we're going to feed kids and go ahead and build back better. Get involved. I'm going to file my paperwork to be a nonprofit. The Agenda 52 project. That's what it's going to be. We're going to, I'm going to also, in addition to that, we're going to, feed people. I'm going to sell, gear while I'm also making money developing property and creating inventory. Be the community organizer. Wow. Be the community organizer they want you to be. You're already on Instagram. You're already doing all the stuff and taking the selfies and stuff. Do something with it. You're an influencer now. Get out there in the community and become an organizer. Get out there and instead of putting out 2,500 letters trying to buy one house, put out 2,500 letters to these community companies. Trust me, look it up. They're all over the place. And they all are getting funded from the government to put money out. CRAs, housing coalitions, the corporations, they're looking for presentations as to what they can do, where they can put the money to further their mission. It's going to be up to you to decide how you can handle that and who you're going to get involved in your projects. Maybe you sell a couple flips just to fund your way through it. But This is the way forward. And you can just see it. If the cards that are dealt to us say, listen, these companies are going to be spending billions of dollars dealing in stakeholder capitalism, then maybe you move to this way of doing business. You get out of the way of the big short, the big crash that's coming. I don't care about a crash. Think about it. Imagine if you didn't care whether the real estate market crashed. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. I got Section 8 rentals. I got government housing, affordable housing. I'm helping Black, Hispanic, and red people get into houses. Government's paying for it. I don't care if it goes upside down. Hey, listen, I want to put these people in $250,000 homes that cost $400,000 to build. Okay. Because I'm not looking to make money on the sale of the property. I'm making money up front before the deal ever takes place. Now, I won't realize it until everything's built or renovated. But just imagine that. I'm going in at 5, 6, 8%, and I'm building it and I'm embedding that in the project. Hey, listen, I want to do an $8 million project. Okay, what are you looking to make? I'm looking to make like 6, 7, 8%. All right, well, put your $400,000 or $500,000 into the deal. A guy told me this, and I went, what? Yeah, you put your developer's fee into the deal, but I don't have to worry about profiting on the sale. No, we prefer you don't. What? We prefer that you're not making money on the sale of the properties. We prefer that you're not banging these people for profit and putting them into homes. Build your money into the deal. I was like, oh my God, that's genius. Now, I know there's some developers out there going, yeah, we've been doing that for years. Yeah, but investors haven't. And if you're an investor, especially if you're a GC, and if you happen to be Black, and if you're a woman and you're Black, oh my God. It's amazing what's going to be happening. So, just wanted to get that out there today. I'm a little bit long. There's a lot to explain. This was just brief. Again, if you'd like to go ahead and text me, and we'll get some more information out to you, and we'll talk about this, communicate. Let's do it. Let's work together on some things. Hey man, I'm one guy and my wife's a realtor. Let's put together a network of people. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to keep talking about doing these deals. I'm going to keep talking about it. And it's something, I know there's going to be some white people who think that, hey man, this doesn't sound like it's fair. Hey, it is what it is. This is what people decided they wanted on November 3rd. And now this is what they got. Talk to you maybe tomorrow, but in a couple of days. But in the interim, I'm going to be filing my nonprofit paperwork, and I'm getting ready to get some of this government cheese. Talk to you guys tomorrow, maybe tomorrow.
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.